This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. I am looking forward to hearing all your Eclipse stories. Did you discover something unusual in your radio operation during the eclipse? If so, shoot me an email at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com. The bands have been interesting last week. I worked China on 10 meters. Where have you worked lately? Bill Adams, AF4B, a longtime ham radio operator in Letcher County before relocating to Texas, is now a Silent Key. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his many family and friends. On April 13th, the University of Cincinnati Amateur Radio Club, W8YX, and the Ohio State University Amateur Radio Club will join together for a first-ever joint Parks on the Air event at Cowan Lake State Park in Wilmington, Ohio. Give a listen on the bands for these school clubs and give them a Parks on the Air contact. The Brunch Bunch will be meeting on April 13th at 1 p.m. at the Sugar and Spice, 4381 Reading Road, next door to Cincinnati Fire Station 9. Come on out and join them. On April 15th, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold their meeting at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. The guest speaker will be Great Lakes Division Director Scott Yonley, N8SY, who will talk about the ARRL and answer your questions all about the American Radio Relay League. April 18th is World Amateur Radio Day. Let's do something special to celebrate all the contributions that amateur radio has made in the world. What are you going to do to celebrate this event? If you are interested in amateur radio emergency communications in Northern Kentucky, come to the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky meeting on April 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. This group is really getting organized. April 27th is the Ohio Aries NVIS Day at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Stations will set up near vertical incident skywave HF stations, testing their communications on HF throughout the state of Ohio. This setup works to provide reliable radio coverage, generally in a 400-mile radius. In times of emergency, critical incidents, and natural disasters, these communications are extremely important. For more information on this event and NVIS information, go to ARRL-ohio.org/SEC/NVIS_day. Steve, NATFD, is looking for volunteers for this year's Flying Pig Marathon with activities May 1st through May 5th. The volunteer website is up and going at flyingpigmarathon.volunteerlocal.com. Use the password of HAM. If you have questions or problems, reach out to Steve, NATFD, at natfd@fuse.net. On May 7th, the OHKYIN Amateur Radio Society will hold their meeting at 7:30 p.m. at the Laughlin Church of the Nazarene, 335 West Wyoming Avenue in Laughlin, Ohio. Stephen Gallagher, KEATEY, will be providing the group with information on portable solar power. The meeting will be both in person and over Zoom. For more information on how to log in via Zoom, go to OHKYIN.org.
Do you know where the action's at?
If you are looking to get your worked all states, the action is on 40 and 80 meters every night with the 3905 Century Club nets at 000 UTC on 7.2675 MHz, at 0200 UTC on 3.902 MHz, at 0400 UTC on 7.188 MHz, and at 0500 UTC on 3.909 MHz. 3905 Century Club Net is an international radio club founded in 1977, and for over 45 years has been one of the premier worked all states DX and awards nets in amateur radio. It's easy to participate and enjoy making lots of contacts around the world. For more detailed information, go to 3905ccn.org for where the action is.
Repeater news.
The River City Amateur Radio Club reports that KY4ECC analog infusion repeater near Ashland, Kentucky on 440.6125 with a PL tone of 131.8, also sporting Yaesu Fusion, is back online after being moved to a temporary location because the former location was destroyed by the storms.
Hamfessts.
On April 13th, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will celebrate the 68th Hamfessts Electronic and Computer Show from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Amidio & Sons Party Center, 48 East Bass Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Check in on the 147.27 or the 444.85 repeaters. April 13th is the Mid-Ohio Valley Amateur Radio Club Hamfest at the Fellowship of Faith Church, 20344 State Route 554 in Bidwell, Ohio. April 13th is the Columbus, Indiana Hamfest at the Columbus North High School Cafeteria, 1400 25th Street in Columbus, Indiana. Talking on the 146.79 repeater with a 103.5 PL tone. April 27th is the Tusco Amateur Radio Club Hamfest at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio. April 28th is the Athens Hamfest at the Athens Community Center, 701 East State Street in Athens, Ohio. May 5th is the Lucas County Aries Trunk Sale and Swap Meet at the Toledo Speedway, 5639 Benore Road in Toledo, Ohio. Starting on May 11th and running through May 16th is the RV Radio Network Hamfest at the Berlin RV Park, 5898 State Route 39 in Millersburg, Ohio. Talking on 146.520 Simplex. May 17th through May 19th is the granddaddy of all Hamfests, the Dayton Hamvention at the Greene County Fairgrounds, 210 Fairgrounds Road in Xenia, Ohio.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On April 13th, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will hold a testing session at the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Hamfest at the Amita & Sons Party Center, 48 East Bath Road in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Starting at 9 a.m., pre-registration is required at www.cfarc-edu.org/registration or call 330-928-8921. On April 13th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will be hosting an amateur radio exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylerville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. The Tri-State Amateur Radio Club will hold a testing session on Saturday, April 13th at the Museum of Radio and Technology in Huntington, West Virginia. It will begin at 9 a.m. On April 15th, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 5:30 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. Pre-registration is required. Email Mark Volstad at mvolstad@twc.com. On April 18th at 6 p.m., the Milford Amateur Radio Club will be hosting an amateur radio exam session at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. On April 20th, the Dial Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio testing session at 9 a.m. at the Fairfield Township Administration Building, 6032 Morris Road in Hamilton, Ohio. Go to www.qsl.net/W8BLV and click on exams. For more information, contact Thurl Golden, KD8VLU at 513-939-4891. On April 23rd at 6 p.m., an amateur radio license exam session will be held at the Anderson County Extension Building. Use the rear entrance, lower level, 1026 County Park Road in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. For more information, contact Brian Carter, KI4TLW at 502-545-0376. On April 27th at 10 a.m., the Wilderness Road Amateur Radio Club is sponsoring a testing session at the American Legion, post number 46, number 45 Spears Lane in Danville, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions. For more information, contact Carol Miller, AF6MB, at 541-602-6535. On May 11th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On May 11th at 10 a.m., the Bluegrass Amateur Radio Society will hold an amateur radio testing session at the Red Cross Building in Classroom A at 1450 Newtown Pike in Lexington, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/KE4MAI. For more information, contact Fernie Williams, KE4MAI at 859-536-3393. June 8th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Pre-registration is required at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On June 8th at 10 a.m., there'll be an amateur radio license exam session at the Georgetown Police Department, 550 Bourbon Street in Georgetown, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/session/WX4GPS. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: KE4WA, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.